Welcome back to the channel USD Coins. I'm so glad you're here today because we're going to dive deep into one of the most incredible and mysterious coins you might ever come across, the 1964 Liberty 1-cent coin. This coin is not just any penny, it's a story of history, errors, rarity, and astonishing value. Imagine holding something that looks like an everyday penny but is potentially worth up to $110 million due to its mistakes and mint mark. Let's get started and explore everything about this fascinating coin. First off, let's set the scene. The 1960s were a turbulent time in America. The 1964 Liberty 1-cent coin was produced in large numbers as part of the regular coinage of the time. However, hidden among those countless coins were some pieces that had errors so significant they would one day captivate collectors around the world. The Denver Mint struck millions of pennies that year, most of them perfectly ordinary. But as we all know, in the world of numismatics, the most valuable coins often come from mistakes. You might be wondering, what exactly could make a coin like this so valuable? Well, that's what we're going to look at closely, the errors and anomalies that make a 1964 Liberty penny stand out. Some of these coins have double dies, where the design appears to have been stamped twice. This kind of mint error is one of the most highly sought after in the collecting world because it's immediately visible, often without any special tools. Imagine seeing a ghost image of Lincoln on the obverse. It's incredible to behold. Others might have off-center strikes, where the coin was not perfectly aligned during the minting process, creating an uneven rim and blank spaces where the design should have been. Still other examples have planchet errors, coins that were struck on imperfect blanks with cracks, clips, or wrong metallic compositions. Each one of these mistakes could transform what looks like a regular penny into a true treasure. And when we add the D mint mark into the equation, we bring in a whole new layer of rarity and historical context. The Denver Mint produced coins that sometimes varied slightly from their Philadelphia counterparts, and it's these tiny variations that seasoned collectors know to hunt for. But how does this all add up to such a jaw-dropping valuation? The answer lies in rarity and demand. There are only a few documented 1964 Liberty pennies with these extreme errors in existence. Serious collectors will go to great lengths, and pay incredible sums, to add them to their collections. Over the decades, coins like these have shattered auction records, especially when they come to light in pristine condition or with particularly striking errors, and this is where the $110 million figure comes into play. It's not just a wild number pulled out of thin air, it's based on the potential for a one-of-a-kind example of this coin, say, one that was struck on the wrong planchet, doubled, off-center, and perfectly preserved, to captivate a museum, a billionaire collector, or a major numismatic institution. When you reach that level of rarity and appeal, all bets are off as to what someone will pay. Think of it like a famous painting. The value is partly in the physical object and partly in the story and prestige that go along with it. We also need to talk about authentication. If you ever believe you have one of these coins, it's absolutely vital to have it professionally graded. Companies like PCGS or NGC specialize in verifying coins, identifying errors, and assigning a grade that will help determine the coin's market value. Without a certified grade, even the most amazing coin can be overlooked or doubted by potential buyers. Imagine the thrill of discovering one of these coins. It could come from a pocket change, an old piggy bank, a relative's collection, or even found under a couch cushion. Wherever it comes from, it has the potential to change the lucky owner's life forever. Stories of people discovering incredibly rare coins in the most ordinary places abound. It's a reminder that treasure truly can hide in plain sight. Of course, a big part of this coin's allure is also the mystique of its errors. Error coins tell a story of the minting process and the rare slip-ups that happen when millions of coins are produced. Every error is like a fingerprint, unique and often containing its own mysteries. Was the die damaged? Did the coin shift during striking? Was there some contamination in the planchet? Each question adds intrigue, and the more pronounced the error, the more captivated collectors become. As we reflect on all this, it's easy to see why numismatics is more than just a hobby. It's a passion driven by history, artistry, and the hunt for the extraordinary. The 1964 Liberty penny exemplifies this perfectly. The simple face value of 1 cent belies the treasure that a lucky few might possess. Whether you're a serious collector, a curious newcomer, or just someone who enjoys a good treasure hunting story, coins like this one inspire all of us to look a little more closely at what we hold in our hands every day. So next time you see a penny, especially one bearing that famous D mint mark from Denver and the year 1964, take a closer look. Inspect it under light, use a magnifier, and see if anything looks just a bit off. Who knows, that coin could hold more value than you ever imagined, a relic of history with a story worth telling and a price tag that could truly astonish. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive into the incredible world of the 1964 D Liberty 1 cent coin. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment if you enjoyed this video and want to see more coin mysteries uncovered. Until next time, keep your eyes peeled and your change pockets ready, you never know what treasures you might discover. Today we are going to dive into one of the most fascinating and incredibly valuable coins you might ever come across. That's right, we're talking about the 1980 Liberty 1 cent USA coin, which, under certain conditions, can be worth up to an astonishing $40 million. Yes, you heard that correctly, $40 million. But before we jump into the juicy details of what makes this coin so special and so valuable, let's set the stage a bit and give you some background. The United States 1 cent coin, also known as the penny, has a long and storied history. Since its first minting in 1793, the penny has gone through various design changes and material compositions. The 1980 Liberty 1 cent coin is part of the Lincoln Memorial Series, which was first introduced in 1959 to commemorate the 150th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. The Lincoln Memorial design remained until 2008, after which it was succeeded by the Lincoln Bicentennial and Shield designs. But it's not just the design that matters here, it's the errors and mistakes that make this coin exceptionally rare and valuable. So what exactly are these errors and mistakes that can skyrocket the value of a 1980 Liberty penny? Let's explore this fascinating topic. The most significant factor that can boost the value of this coin is the presence of a rare mint mark error. The mint mark is a small letter on the coin that indicates which U.S. mint facility produced the coin. Common mint marks include D for Denver, S for San Francisco, and no mint mark for coins produced at the Philadelphia Mint. Occasionally, a coin will have a double die error, where the design elements are mistakenly engraved twice. This can make the coin look like it has ghost images or doubled inscriptions, which can dramatically increase its value. Additionally, coins that were struck on the wrong planchet, the blank metal disc that is stamped to create a coin, can also be incredibly valuable. For example, if a 1980 penny was accidentally struck on a dime planchet, it could fetch a very high price at auction. Similarly, coins that exhibit off-center strikes, where the design is not properly aligned with the coin blank, are also highly prized by collectors. These errors make the coin unique and much rarer than the standard issue coins. Another notable error is the die crack. Over time, the dies that are used to strike coins can develop cracks, and coins struck from these damaged dies will show raised lines or fissures on their surface. The placement, size, and visibility of these die cracks can add to the coin's allure and value. Coins with especially dramatic die cracks or die chips, small pieces of metal missing from the die face, are especially desirable. Collectors also look for coins with clipping errors, where part of the planchet was cut off during the minting process. This gives the coin an incomplete, curved edge. Coins with such errors are generally considered very rare and collectible, and the larger the clip, the higher the coin's value tends to be. There are also cases of 1980 Liberty pennies that have experienced lamination errors. This occurs when the metal layers of the coin separate or peel due to impurities or insufficient bonding. Laminated coins have a distinctive appearance, often with flaky surfaces or sections that appear to be peeling away. Because these errors are relatively rare and visually striking, they also contribute to a significant increase in the coin's value. Additionally, any coin from this period that was part of a small mintage or produced as a proof coin can also be more valuable. Proof coins are struck multiple times with specially polished dies to give them a mirror-like finish and sharper details. Some proof coins can feature missing mint marks or other anomalies that make them incredibly rare. These proofs were often distributed in small quantities to collectors and as a result, can fetch a premium on the market, and let's not overlook the psychological appeal of the coin's historical and cultural significance. The Lincoln penny itself is an iconic piece of American history, representing one of the most revered presidents in U.S. history. Collectors treasure these coins not only for their monetary value but also for their connection to the past. The story of finding a rare error coin in pocket change and the thrill of owning a small piece of history adds to the allure and desirability of these coins. For those looking to identify these errors and potentially discover a fortune in their pocket change, it's essential to have a good magnifying glass and a careful eye. Pay close attention to the lettering, the mint mark, the edges, and the overall strike of the coin. Even small anomalies can significantly increase a coin's value, and remember, if you do come across a coin that you believe might be valuable, it's always a good idea to have it professionally appraised and authenticated by a reputable coin dealer or numismatist. Coins that are certified as genuine errors by third-party grading services often sell for much higher prices at auction. So there you have it, a deep dive into the captivating world of the 1980 Liberty 1-cent USA coin and all the incredible errors and mistakes that can make it worth a fortune. Whether you're a seasoned coin collector or someone just starting out, keep your eyes peeled because you never know when you might stumble upon a hidden treasure. Thanks for tuning in, and as always, happy hunting.